Welcome to
Split the Defense,
where Jordan Webster, Ted Evans, and Craig Pearce talk about the NHL and all things hockey.
Split the Defense
Can be found wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. It's also broadcasted on Amherst Island Radio, 101.3 FM, and online at CJAI.CA.
Hey, what up and welcome to Split the Defense Hockey Podcast. Jordan Webster, Craig Pearce, and producer Ted Evans. So let's go on the Avs. The first thing I wanted to start with is good news, because I like to start with good news. So, Valeri Nichushkin is not practicing today. Oh, no, good news. His wife welcomed their daughter Anna this morning. The wife and baby are doing well.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Hey,
Val
round of
Nichushkin.
applause.
Fuck
Wow,
yeah.
yeah.
Go Val. Good for
That's
Val.
awesome.
Getting laid 9 months ago. Anyways, yeah, no, awesome. Glad to hear that the wife and baby are doing good. So here's some more great fucking news. The Avs rebound and win 6-3 against New Jersey in what Peter Baugh referred to as a chippy affair. Colorado's best players showed up, and Ryan Johansson scored a crucial goal in the third period. Best note, Miles Wood has 2 points against his former club.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the game, Ted?
It was good to see the guys get back on track, score a lot more goals than they had in some previous contests. To see them get 6 goals and get contributions from, I think Ross Colton had one too. Miles Wood was getting points. Johansson again, he had been scoring a little bit earlier, but yeah, good to see them all back at it.
Yeah, definitely.
That was
seeing
my
your
overall.
team put up 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
not
Big change.
the other team put up 4 or 5. They keep them at 3. 3's fine.
Yeah,
I
double
can
them
live
up.
with 3.
Yep.
Live with 3. You're putting up 6. I'm okay with that. So yeah, Colton, I don't know if he got it on the score sheet. I didn't even check that, but you know what he did do. Luke Hughes went to the Devils locker room after a hit and cross-check to the face by Colton, but later returned to the game. So actually,
Thank
it wasn't him
God.
that got cross-checked. He cross-checked Timo Meier in the face. Colton was assessed a minor penalty in 5 minutes and a game misconduct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Colton apologized to Bednar for his penalties. He said he had a pit in his stomach for the rest of the game because he was worried he was going to cost the team a win. That didn't happen. Bednar disagreed with the officials anyways, like he always does, such a player's coach, and says he
Yeah.
wants Colton to keep playing his game. Love it. So the quote from Bednar is, he's forechecking hard. I saw it very similar to the Wood hit, which was earlier in the period. The guy's trying to wield the net. We're cutting him off. There's going to be contact. I think the difference was Hughes at the last second, he tries to turn out of it without the puck, so it didn't look good. He gave him 2 minutes, and I'll give him the call. And after the fact, honestly, I didn't even see it until I watched the replay, but Meier turns back at Colton, and he's coming in at him with his stick high. You've got to defend yourself, and your stick has got to come up unless you want to take one in the teeth, and that's what he does. It's a reaction play. I think it deserved a 5. Or I didn't think it deserved a 5. So
Yeah. Reaction
That's
play, I guess.
ridiculous. Like, oh my God. Like, you could just, I've watched the clip. He cross checks him in the face, It might be close to his glove, but like that stick right across the neck, like, tough play. I think he well deserved penalties, I think.
But Meier was coming in. If you slow it right down, Meier was literally coming in like this.
Well,
until-
like, he didn't hit him in the
his stick,
face.
No, because he got hit
Because the guy in
first.
the head.
He blocked. Yeah, he blocked him
Yeah.
and defended himself. That's
Well, like,
self-defense.
you
right.
guys both go to the chest, it's fine. And if you're the guy that ends up with the stick to someone else's face, you're out of here.
Yeah, and no, that makes sense. I totally agree with that. But Colton said he hopes both Hughes and Meier are okay. He said he thought the Hughes hit was a hockey play, and it looked worse than it actually was. And then he added that he was trying to defend himself with the Meier cross-check, but that it was definitely a penalty. Like, he
Right.
admits
like a
himself.
2-minute cross-checking.
Yeah.
But he's like, not the way I want to play. But at the same time, if a guy at Timo Meier's size is coming at you with his stick to cross-check you in the head because you just took one of the kids out on the team, reactionary says throw your stick too. He says it's unfortunate it hit him in the face. God, I got to be better with that, right? Should have
Yeah.
been to the chest, 100%.
Yeah,
he
handled
knows
it
it deserves
awesome.
a penalty.
Yeah.
But at the same time, be a human. What are you going to do? Like,
Yeah.
In
I
that
have no
moment, I
issue-
would too. I'd be throwing my stick up trying to defend myself. I'm not taking out my teeth. I got great teeth. Like, no way. Not a chance.
That's it. I mean, and there's a call too for like retaliation, right? Because normally that's when penalties get called. Is you can go and you give a guy a chip, a little slash. He turns around and slashes you back. Well, he's getting the penalty there. But so let's say in this situation we see Colton kind of injure Hughes. So Meyer comes in to retaliate, and yeah, he defends himself to that retaliation. So I mean, I definitely see where Bednar is coming from.
I know it's crazy,
reactionary.
but like it's like if somebody points a gun at you and then you shoot them. It's
Yeah,
like,
they're
but
like,
bro, he had a gun pointed at me, but he didn't shoot you. It's like, but bro, like he had a loaded gun pointed
Yeah,
at my
but, like-
fucking head, so I shot him. Like,
But like, it's not like the difference between shooting someone in the chest and the head. Like, you can both cross-check each other. You know, it's just
I
that,
knew
and
you'd
it's not
take that.
Yeah, like it's totally different, you know. And like, and I want to
No,
say
it's
that
the
like the
instance
play
of, like,
with Luke Hughes, I think is a hockey play. Like they're both going in hard, and it does look a lot worse than actually the play is. Like I don't think it's a malicious play, but I just think that if any time that a stick goes to someone else's neck or head, like
Well,
that should be a
Timo
game
Meyer was
misconduct.
coming in like Jaws. Like after the play,
I
like,
don't care how he's coming in.
No,
Has
no,
to factor
no,
in
no,
the
no, no.
penalty.
And if Ross Colton doesn't do anything,
'Cause Colton
he was
just didn't do it
taking
for
one
no
to the
reason.
teeth.
No,
He
but
was
like
taking
you
one
can
to the
put your
teeth,
hands up.
100%.
You don't have to put your stick into someone else's
But you've
neck.
got like 1 second to react. He goes and gets him in the face, and he's holding his stick.
I don't
He
know.
has
I
two
think
hands on
I
his stick.
would. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's, it's a fight or flight mentality, right? So
Yeah.
he took the fight mentality because you could have. You're right. You could have.
Could've
gone
turtled
away.
in
Could have
that second.
turtled in a way if it got away.
Well, it's not about turtling.
But-
It's about just putting your hands up or your stick up so you're not going to get hit in the face. Like, you know, or if you're going and you're just hitting him in the chest, like he obviously took the higher route than Timo Meyer did. And so
But
like then
that's how a
Timo
person's
Meyer would
brain
have
works.
the penalty.
That's how a person's brain works. You're either going to fight or you're going to flight when a situation like
split
that
second.
comes in a split second. So are you going to fight back or are you going to turn and run? That's the fight or flight mentality. And so he took the fight mentality where I'm going to aggress before he can hurt me. That's the fight mentality. Where the flight mentality is what
different
you're
ways
saying.
to fight.
Defend yourself. You should have just kind of defended yourself and made sure you didn't get hurt, which is fair. That's a stance. That's a take.
No, that's
You
not
can
even my
sit on that
stance.
tape.
You're putting words into my mouth.
I
I'm
think
saying
what
that
you're
there's
saying,
different
it's
ways.
a more thought. Like what needs to happen if you're doing it your way? He would need like 10 seconds to think about that to make sure. Oh, I'll do it the right way, the way that I thought about and planned in my head. He doesn't have that time. That's my point. Is that he's not going to do it a thoughtful way. He's going to go whoop and
Yeah,
get his
but-
stick up and go fuck you instead.
Hockey is
Timo
all
Meyer's
about
not for
quick
me.
decisions.
Yeah.
Like if anything, like that's something that a hockey player should be better at than anything, because there's lots of situations where you can't go and clip someone in the head, and you have to make that clear. And if you do, it's a penalty and you're out of here.
Dude,
Like,
you can't
I
fight
understand
in
it's
real life. If I
circumstantial,
was
and
to
that's why
go and-
I'm not like saying that Ross Colton did anything crazy and malicious. I'm just saying that, like, to say that it shouldn't have been a penalty from the coach, like I think that's like a far stance. Like that's a.
I think
you
he's
know,
going.
I
with
agree
the,
with
I
Colton's
wonder if it's the misconduct
statement
as
way
much.
more. Yeah.
But yeah, didn't think it deserved a 5, is what Bednar said. Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you think it was totally justified for the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a fair stance to take. But I'm not an official. I don't know what it deserved. Obviously, you can't cross-check people in the head. And I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking about how should this rule go and how should we implement that going forward, because all I could think about was you can watch the replay where Timo Meyer comes in like Jaws and goes to take him out, and my reaction too be like, oh shit, this guy's huge, and smash him too. Like, no, hit him first, because then he can't hurt me. You
Like,
know, when
it
I
would
was
be
in high
better
school,
if he hit him with his glove. Like
when I was in
that-
high school, I had a buddy who literally used to tell me that as soon as he knew he fucked up, he'd get angry. And he'd start an argument. Do you know
Yeah.
why? Because then the other person won't get mad at him because he knows he fucked up.
No, that's a bad look too. I don't like
And that's
that
pretty
look
much
either.
what Ross Colton did in that situation. I'm gonna fuck things up before I get fucked up. End of that. So
Oh,
I don't know. Totally deserving of the penalty. I think, in my opinion, I think we all think it was deserving of a penalty. You can't do that, and you know why? Because Timo Meyer can't be coming in to do that, right?
Like,
well, there's that too, and
there-
yeah, like if you went up and did that to a guy who wasn't coming in at you, just a guy standing there by the boards or minding his own business, or even if he had the puck and you went up and just cross-checked him in the head, well, that
Like
would be
Nazem
5 in a
Kadri.
game for sure in my books.
Well, that would be a 3 or 4 game suspension.
Yeah, in the
that's
playoffs,
a
too.
totally different story.
Yeah, the rest of the playoffs, actually, just the rest of the playoff series. No, an undetermined amount of games, however
It's
many
always
games
gotta
the
come
series takes. That's how long it would be. Well, that's what Nazem Kadri did to Jake
Yep.
DeBrusk, right? He cross-checked
Yep.
him in the head when he totally didn't deserve it.
No, yeah.
And he got 5 in a game in the rest of the series. How many games? I don't know. However many it takes.
So does
you aren't
deserving
playing
it
against
then
this
like
team
factor in? Like someone coming in to do just that, the exact same thing to cross-check a guy? Like Meyer was
Yeah,
about
I think
to
if
do to
Timo
Colton?
Meyer did it, if we flip this on its head,
Yeah.
and Colton he's not able to protect himself, and he does take one to the teeth, I think Meyer's suspended.
Oh,
I
big time.
absolutely think he's suspended.
Yeah.
Because that was going into somebody who just made a clean hockey play, which we all agree that hit on Hughes was a clean hockey play, and then Meyer comes in and cross-checks him in the teeth. No, you can't do that.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Get the fuck
yeah.
out of here.
And that's
You
where
can't do
Colton
that.
did him a huge favor, right? Like, because there's a situation where like Colton is missing some teeth, and yeah, that's like, we're talking how many games here, right? Not like is it a fine? Which actually Colton actually did get a fine for this, right?
Yes, he did. He got $5,000.
The 5,000, yeah. Which
I'm with
allowable
Bednar.
under the CBA.
I'm so with Bednar.
But
yeah, not even a 5-minute
No,
penalty.
2-minute cross-checking because he wouldn't have done it if Meyer didn't come in like that. He wouldn't have just done it. It wasn't just a normal
Situationally,
cross-check. It wasn't just it was a
Well, that's a take two.
reactionary replay.
That's definitely a take 2. Anyways, Andre Pavel, he actually got to play. He made his NHL debut
yes.
replacing Fredrik Olofsson, who's dealing with an upper body injury, but he seems to be back in the lineup now. So he was playing as the center of the fourth line. Colorado head coach Jared Bednar spoke after the game and noted that he was pleased with Pavel's performance, but capped his reps at 10 shifts and didn't use him on the penalty kill because the 23-year-old hadn't been up with the team for very long. So Pavel told reporters after the game that he felt great, although he lamented being on the ice for the first goal and losing some early face-offs. He says his early shot attempts helped calm his nerves. He quote said, "It's always good to close your eyes and whack up the puck and hope it goes in."
Yeah.
So I thought that was great.
That's good. I like
Peter
that.
Baugh tweeted that Fredrik Olofsson's back, so Andre Pavel's back in the AHL. Jared Bednar said the plan is for Pavel to play tonight for the Eagles, so he's playing. This is Thursday night of recording. And probably going to go back down with a little bit of a swagger. So what did you think of this Pavel kid? Did you notice him?
Not overly. I looked because I wanted to see what the new kid was, and that was his first NHL game ever, it was his NHL debut. And he's a guy that I've always noticed with the Eagles. He's always a guy putting up points for the Eagles, playing well down the AHL. So to give him this look was a nice thing for him. It's too bad he didn't get a goal or something like that. And the kid feeling bad about being on for a goal and losing some faceoffs. I mean, come on. The best players in the world are on for goals, and it's funny, he's just in his head a little bit about that, but who wouldn't be in your first
but he wants to make a
NHL
good
game?
impression, right? Trying to make a good team. It's like, I wish that didn't happen. If that didn't happen, because there's always that moment that you think you up going up the ice and you could have scored and I didn't score, and for me, I can turn it back to baseball. There's big moments where there was runners on and we could have won big games, and if I would have made those hits with the scouts in the crowd, where would I have been? Where would I be if I got to go pitch in high school and I could have thrown well in those innings? How would have that all turned out, right? But and that's how you kind of think as an athlete, and every single step that you're taking seems to be incremental, that you look back on what if that one went in? What if I won all of my faceoffs that night? What if I at least won most of my faceoffs that night instead of the 50% or whatever he ended up, maybe less than 50%, which is normal average, but he's thinking these things. Would the coach have kept me? Would I have stayed in the NHL then? Or would he still send me back to the AHL? What if I scored a couple goals?
Yeah, what if he Geno'd some?
Yeah. Would they have kept me? And that's kind of what he's thinking. So you can understand why he's hard on himself, right?
Yeah, and it's because he cares, right? He wants to be there, and it's good to see that from your players.
Yeah, absolutely. Cale Makar, he's playing his 250th career game Thursday night, which is going to be right after this recording. We're going to get to go watch that game. So
Yes.
I have some notes on Cale Makar here. A couple things. Somebody actually was Altitude Radio.
Yeah. This was
Posted
big.
on Twitter. Asked, do the Avs need to ask Gabe Landeskog to hand the captain's C to Cale Makar? What do you think, Ted?
Fuck no. That's not fucking happening ever. He's going to fucking retire, and then that's when he gets the C. No, not while he's not retired. It's not. He's not going to hand the shit over. What? Like no.
They were
no.
like Milan Hajduk did that to Gabe Landeskog.
Yes. That was different because Hajduk was playing like third, fourth line minutes, right? Like he was back there.
Well, Landeskog's not even playing.
Well, exactly. But when he comes back, he's not going to be
That's a good
second
point,
or
Greg.
third line. He's going to be the top. We're going to have our big top three back. We're going to have the big three in Denver.
Yeah.
Like that was our thing. Was
Hopefully he
Nate,
comes back
Mikko,
100%.
and Rantanen.
No,
Yeah.
Mikko and Rantanen? No,
Or-
Landy.
Landy. Yes, thank you.
I think like if we were having this
have
discussion
Nate,
a year from now,
McKinnon,
and he's still not playing,
Mikko, Rantanen.
If
Sorry.
well, that's the thing. He's 30 years old, right? And that was the talk. Some people were talking about, like, if he does that, it starts the conversation of, is that the end of his career? We're still at a point where we don't know.
Yeah.
When he comes back, he might not be the same Gabe, but I think they gave Jonathan Drouin a chance on the top line. I think Gabe's going to be right on the top line when he comes back.
I mean, they'll let anyone be there. If they'll let Juan be there, like I should have a shot.
Right? If I got
that
a
was
sign
good.
up for one day for the Avs, they would at least try me on the top line, right? Like,
Of course, we've seen the proof.
yes. So
Yeah.
Gabe will be like top line when he comes back, and then we'll see how it goes. But I don't. Yeah, like to answer the thing about handing the C over to Cale. Cale's the guy for sure.
Do you think
It
he'll
will
be the
Cale.
next? You don't think it'll
Yeah.
be Nate? No, too fiery, eh?
He's a little, you know.
Also, like he's not that much younger than Landeskog, right? So like
he's
you want to
4
kind
years
of hit the
younger.
next generation, and I think Makar's that.
Yeah. It's that's the next real generational jump. Yeah, to a guy that can hold the C for as long as. I mean, when Landeskog got the C, he was the youngest captain in NHL history. That was a record at the time, which then got beat by Mick David, I believe.
I hate to bring this up about the Leafs again, but like John Tavares didn't become captain until he was like 30 on the Leafs.
True.
Right? He was 29
Fair.
when he signed for the Leafs and got the captaincy at 30. And like he's the captain, so like why couldn't Nate McKinnon be the captain? I don't know if it's a thing
I
as
see.
much about
No, I see
age
that
as
point.
it is about fit.
But I'll
Right.
point out that he wasn't going to be the captain until Matthews mooned some people, and then they last minute changed it. 99% sure that's how it went. So I think that they were prepared
Not
to
just
give it
moon
to the
some
next
people,
generation.
a female security guard.
Right. I didn't want to get into it, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, it's not like he was on the street. No, look at my buttocks, public people. No, he
Yeah. Was
you
getting
can't
in
do
trouble
that, bro. And she
and
was all by
mooned the
herself,
security
like,
guard.
yeah, with a
Yeah.
group of guys. Like, dude, be better.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
So,
you can't.
like,
we
he
know-
lost it at the
we
last second.
understand, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know, Matty be the next. He will be the next one in Toronto. That's why I wonder. Oh, sorry. Why wouldn't McKinnon? Who's like, I know Cale Makar is the best player, but like McKinnon's he's
has
been
been-
there a long time. He's been
Yeah.
tenured, right? Like he's been the team. It's been his team. He's so big to
Yes.
like I don't know, man. He can just do whatever the fuck he wants, and people just let him get away with his shit because he's just that good. He's
He
just
might
like,
just
you're
sow
so
the
good,
seed
and
on
we trust
himself.
you so much that you can just do whatever. Take away the good pasta. We won't eat chocolate around you. No more pop. No more beer. Like whatever you need, Nate. We're going for a cup. You know, they trusted that guy.
I know, with their lives and their everything. Like, honestly. And so, yeah, I see it too, man. The guy has some real leadership and some real heart. I think he doesn't play that full-on captain role just because of what we've seen while guys like him and Makar and Rantanen, who've had to step in when whoever's on the ice and something happens and you got to talk to a ref. Nate always, might not always be that guy. And yeah, he creates a culture. Like, he is part of, if not like the culture there. Like, he is the reason for it. But that also comes down from Sakic. Like, Nate and Joe together are a friggin' dynamic duo. Like, they really are. And I mean, he's already like there. So it's like giving Cale the C is like players are going to turn to Cale for like, what do we do, Cale? And he's like, you just sit back and watch, and I will do everything. And like McKinnon will be like,
I will play forward and
like,
defense, and I will take the goalie's mitts and save the puck as well. Like Cale can do everything.
Exactly. He's like a wizard. Like you look to, he's like the guru you go see on the top of the mountain. You're like, Cale, how can we do this? And he's like, my sons. And like he's gonna be our guy, and Nate's just gonna be like the guy you go see for like
The
advice
best
at the
guy.
bar. And he's like, like he knows it like better than anybody. But yeah, he gets too fired up when you get into it with him. So.
And Rantanen just in the background, like, what about me? What about me?
Yeah.
No.
So I have to ask right now, who do you think's better, Cale Makar or Nate McKinnon?
Like as a player,
As a player, yeah. Who's a more talented player?
Cale Makar.
yeah.
Okay.
He's
I
more
think
of a
just
unicorn.
Younger, more talented, got a more level head. I think you're right on the captaincy.
And
I
just
think
like
that makes a lot of sense.
it's like overall too, like, forechecking, backchecking, everywhere.
Checking.
Nate's got the skills where he's got the skills. He's like hyper intense on those skills, but Cale is so well rounded.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of that, typical Cale Makar versus Devin Tays face-off practice at their practice. Why would they be doing that? Here, I have a crazy theory. You know the 3D power play? What about a 5D power play? Screw it.
God.
We've seen a 5 forwards power play before. We've got amazing D. Big D energy. We want 5D on the power play. Let's see how this works. We're going to have Cale Makar taking face-offs. If that doesn't work, Devin Tays taking face-offs. And we're going to see how that works. Get in front of the net, pucks to the neck, pucks in deep, boys. Let's go. You think that would ever
I'm all
happen?
for it.
I would go the opposite way, and what I think it's more realistic to be a 3D penalty kill, and so
Okay,
the
yeah.
off chance it's a 5-on-3 and you want all 3 defensemen out there. I don't know. That's my theory. That's all I could think of.
That's not
But
bad.
5D power play though, I'm not buying that one.
It would be
3D's a
intense.
push.
Well, why the
It would
hell?
be
Okay. Can you explain
would
to
be
me why
talked
the hell
about.
they're taking face-offs at practice, like just for shits and gigs? Like, come on, boys! Like, you can't work on something better? Like, you lost.
I
You've been
think-
shut out a few times and lost. Like, I think it's like maybe not the time to be fucking around and getting your picture taken, you idiots. Like, but hey, like, are we gonna see some 5D power play? And you know what? They could probably pull it off. Is the crazy thing? Like, count out 5 Colorado D, and you're probably like, yeah, I could see them all on the power play somewhere.
Be an okay line, yeah.
Maybe
so-
individually, like on somebody's power play somewhere in the league. Yeah, they could all probably be there. So
something I think about what that could be useful for, and a cool maybe coaching tactic, depending on where the face-off is and how it works, is if your centerman gets kicked out, or even if he doesn't, but just have a guy like that take the draw and have just for the draw setup, and then everyone shift back into their positions. But doing something like that to have both Nate and Mikko on that side of the, in front of the offensive net, like when you're in the offensive zone, have Cale win them the puck. Just try something. Maybe they're going to try something sneaky like
Some
that.
special play, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, put a defenseman in to take the draw, especially on when they've got 3D on a penalty kill or on a power play. I mean, so
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they're not a regular power play, right? Like they have 3 on their power play sometimes. So yeah,
So
if you
one of them
didn't
might
want
end
to
up
move
having
the
to take-
other forward, then yeah, potentially you could. Yeah,
end up taking draws. Yeah,
yeah.
I'd like to see that in fantasy. That'd be great. Get
Get
Makar
face-off
or
wins from
you
your
get a
defense.
face-off win.
Oh my
Devon
god, another
Tays with a
reason why I
face-off
shouldn't
win?
have traded him. He's gonna be the face-off king now too.
yeah, okay, you're gonna check who's leading the wins and defensive wins and face-offs, right?
Yeah, only one guy's
Face-off
doing
stats.
it.
Yeah, boom. No, actually, I saw Brent Burns took a face-off the other day.
Really?
Yeah, one. I don't know why.
He has played some forward in his day, so
Yeah,
True.
So I guess that makes sense. They're like, yeah, go ahead, take a face-off.
Do it.
Anyways, so Dave Haxtell said Jordan Eberle is doing well after getting cut by a skate blade at practice yesterday. Ouch. Cut in the back of his leg, apparently. A really deep laceration. He won't
Yikes.
play against the Avs, and he's day-to-day. So what do you need to see from the team against Seattle tonight, Ted?
Oh, I was going to say we need to fucking lay Eberle into the boards, but I guess we can't. Every time we play them, we need to just fucking hammer that guy. As much as I like Jordan Eberle as a player, or at least I did,
Yeah, I really
until
did
he
too.
broke Cogliano's neck. But no, against Seattle, we've got Prosvetov in net starting. So I don't know. They just need to put up a good showing in front of Ivan there. Give him a good start.
Good defense or goal support. What do you need to see? Offense, defense.
I think with
possession?
Ivan, we're going to need to see not that Seattle's offense is scary strong, but they can have. I mean, they beat us out last playoff, and they had scoring from all over the place.
Everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. And the last time we played them, they beat us, I think. And it was Cartier that young kid had some goals, and they've got they've got some players that'll sneak up and score on you. So I think our defense has to be solid. We can't, let anything by or, assume that we'll beat these guys. None of that. It's lock it down defensively, and obviously, let's outscore these guys. Why not? I think they've got Grubauer again in net. I don't know. I didn't check who's starting, but
yeah, I didn't either. I'd say though it's a bigger test though than New Jersey, because New Jersey was missing Nico Hischier and Jack Hughes. This one will be more of a this will test the depth of Colorado, I think, a bit more than New Jersey did, because a lot of their players had to move up the lineup.
Fair.
Yeah.
Good point.
Sense. Okay, so can you give me one positive take from the first month of the NHL season for the Colorado Avalanche?
Well, I guess the biggest positive take, Nate said it in an interview we played on the show, was that they still have a good record. The record still looks good at the end of the first month. After all this play, it's not too bad right now. If you look into some games and how some stats went and get into the finer details, you start maybe worrying about some things here and there. But my biggest positive take, is the record is still looking good. We just need to keep that improving.
All right. Thank you for listening. And once again, Split the Defense. We are out. We'll be back on Tuesday. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
You've been listening to
Split the Defense.
where Jordan Webster, Ted Evans, and Craig Pearce talk about the NHL and all things hockey.
Split the Defense.
Can be found wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. It's also broadcasted on Amherst Island Radio, 101.3 FM, and online at CJAI.CA.